Yes, in my experience, the phrase better late than never is what lazy people say to justify the fact that they're late on something. So the Peanuts came out last weekend, now I'm reviewing it. Better late than never. The Peanuts movie. So the Peanuts movie is the return of Charles Schulz classic characters, the Peanuts. You got everyone. You got Charlie Brown, you got Peppermint Patty, Linus, Lucy, Snoopy, that dude that dances like this. They're all here, and once again, Charlie Brown is here to do his best in a world that doesn't really accept his best. I always feel bad for Charlie Brown when I see these movies. This movie's no exception, in that they accurately represented the Peanuts in this movie, because Charlie Brown is just a little outcast and you're rooting for him and you feel so bad for him. The funny thing and fascinating thing about the Peanuts is the fact that so many people relate to the Peanuts in that they relate to Charlie Brown. Which means if a lot of people relate to Charlie Brown, that means a lot of people just try their best and fail at it. And there's no shame in that whatsoever. Now, for the first half an hour in this movie, I was like, what's this movie about? Other than the fact that nostalgically you're reliving another Peanuts adventure, but I was like, what's it about? And how they execute it is there's an overall point to it. The point is there's this new girl in school, Charlie Brown has a crush on her, so he's trying to impress her. So there's ultimately, I believe it's 3 different scenarios in this movie that are ultimately Peanuts episodes. It's like for a half an hour, he does this to try to impress her, and Peanut shenanigans ensue, and then the next half hour, Peanut shenanigans ensue, and then the next half hour, another thing, and Peanut shenanigans ensue. 3 different parts, 3 different shenanigans, 3 different points, but it's all like aiming towards the same thing for Charlie Brown. So it's basically 3 Peanuts episodes in one. And about 45 minutes into this movie, I was like, okay, that's how they're all right, and then it clicked for me. And the fact is, I think people are gonna have a good time with this movie. Who's gonna have a good time with this movie? That is the question. So there are lessons in the Peanuts movie. Kids can learn from this. It's not just nonsense thrown on the screen for the sake of just colors. I like that. It's a remarkably rare thing this day and age. But I think more than that, the adults that grew up on the Peanuts adventures when they were kids, they're going to love this movie because there's a lot of nostalgia in this movie. It is a new adventure for Charlie Brown and company. It's clearly a Peanuts movie. They even like made the frame rate for the characters bump down. It's not 24 frames a second. It looks like 15 to 20. It makes it look like the Peanuts movies of old. I was really impressed with that. I like stylistic choices like that. But this movie does spoon feed nostalgia to the point where you do back up. You're like, you're just kind of throwing nostalgic situational circumstance and lines from the previous Peanuts adventures into this one for the sake of that nostalgia bomb. Is that lazy? And I had to scratch my head for a moment. I'm like, why do some movies get berated for that? Other movies get a pass. Like, I'll look you in the eye and be like, yeah, the Peanuts did that and it worked out well for it. However, Terminator Genesis ultimately did the same thing. They took the lines of old, put it in the new movie, and it's like, well, that's lazy as shit. Here it is. If you're going to do that, make sure your movie is good also. If you have a crappy movie with a bunch of nostalgic lines of old in it, looks like you're using the nostalgia to keep the movie afloat. But if you have a good movie that happens to have nostalgic lines and situations in it, then it looks like it's just using it as a topping, not using the nostalgia as a sole means of survival. I just wish Hollywood would learn that at a point. I mean, undeniably, by the end of this movie, you get the feels. It's a heartfelt movie. It's a heartwarming movie. And by the end, you so adore Charlie Brown, and you love Snoopy, because Snoopy's really the only one who gives Lucy any grief. And one important thing I learned from this movie is that Charlie Brown's world would be much better if Lucy ended up on a milk carton. Seriously, she is an asshole. I mean, I always knew she was, but seeing it through adult eyes, you see it, you're like, oh my god, come on. Lucy, that is unacceptable. You need to be smacked. She's unlikable. I just don't like her as a person or a character. This is why in that one Family Guy episode when Peter Griffin beat the piss out of her, I laughed. I felt good because that was some pretty good vindication for Charlie Brown. Guys, in the end, the Peanuts movie is exactly what you want the Peanuts movie to be if you want to see a new Peanuts movie because you grew up on the Peanuts. They do all the characters great justice. The characters are exactly how you remember the characters being. There's enjoyment for kids, there's enjoyment for adults, and there's relevance. And I will certainly say the Peanuts movie is worth buying on Blu-ray. Okay, so the Peanuts movie, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.